Hello everyone, and welcome to the first edition of Saint Seiya Origins, where we go behind the scenes of Saint Seiya and discuss its history a little bit. So, what is Saint Seiya? Saint Seiya, or Saint Seiya, is a franchise, is a manga from 1985, written and drawn by Masami Kurumada. And from this manga, an anime was created, also called Saint Seiya. Now, saint in the title, it's not to be meant in the Christian sense. It means holy warrior or sacred warrior. However, to avoid misunderstandings, in the Western world, almost everywhere the series was renamed Knights of the Zodiac. It began in France and Italy, and then this word kind of spread out to the rest of the world, so that even now the Netflix remake is titled Knights of the Zodiac. Now, Saint Seiya tells the story of Seiya. Seiya is the main character. He's a bronze saint. Now, saints are the warriors of the goddess Athena. Saint Seiya is very rich in Greek mythology and astronomy, so a lot of the characters either reference or come directly from the Greek mythology and also from the Norse mythology, from the Eastern mythologies from time to time. So, for example, you have characters named after gods, such as Thor, or you have the actual gods, such as Athena, Hades, Poseidon, and so on. Now, to understand the series a little bit, first of all, Saint Seiya is a shonen manga. A shonen is a manga for young boys, usually men, but also girls, and it's very rich in fighting, so this is a fighting type of manga. A little bit like Dragon Ball or Fist of the North Star, for example. The main ideas behind Saint Seiya is that the Greek gods exist for real. They war with each other from time to time, and especially the main goddess in the series is Athena, and Athena is introduced as the defender of humankind. However, gods don't like to battle each other straight away. They prefer to battle by proxy, if you want, and they use armies, and these armies wear special armors. Now, the army of Athena is made of 88 saints or sacred warriors, and each sacred warrior wears an armor divided into bronze armor, silver armor, and golden armor. The armors are called cloths. Now, the armors, the cloth, isn't just a protective device, isn't just for defense. It also helps the knight, the saint, to burn their cosmo. And cosmo is one of the main ideas behind the series, and you can compare it a little bit to the Force in Star Wars, for example. So, by burning their cosmo, or by combusting their cosmos, knights or saints can produce incredible feats. They have basically super strength, super speed. The most powerful saints can move at light speed, even though sometimes their actual speed can be even faster than light. The common, let's say, just description of a saint is that their kicks can split the earth and their punches can tear asunder the sky. This is just to give an idea of how powerful they are. Now, as the series progresses, of course, they become more and more powerful. They never quite get to the levels of Dragon Ball, so you don't usually have planetary attacks or things like that. But you still get attacks that are powerful enough to create destruction on a large area. Now, as I said before, the main character is Seiya, and he is the Pegasus saint. He's an orphan. A lot of the story revolves around him coming to terms with fighting for Athena, and also revolves around him looking for his older sister, Patricia or Seika in the original dub, who's the only family he's ever had. The main core, the main cast, is made of 5 characters: Pegasus Seiya, Dragon Shiryu, which is called Fenlong in the Netflix series, Chinyus Hyoga, who's called Chinyus Magnus in the Netflix series, Phoenix Ikki or Phoenix Nero according to Netflix, and Andromeda Shun or Andromeda Shon. The main difference between the Netflix series and the original series is that Shun is a male throughout most of the franchise, but is a girl in the Netflix remake. This has caused a lot of controversy with the fans, and we'll probably discuss it a little bit in a later video. Then you have Athena. Now she has reborn as a human girl named Saori in original, Sienna in the American edition, and Isabel in the Italian edition, for example. You find that very often the names change from country to country, so you have to get around this a little bit, because even though we usually use the original Japanese names, but people may be more familiar with the localized version of the name in their country. So I will try to use at least the English and Japanese names from time to time. Now, the original Saint Seiya manga ran for 28 volumes. It was published weekly, with chapters about 20 pages long, and then chapters were collected in volumes. This was back from 1985 to 1990, so the entire original series lasted for about 5 years. 28 volumes is almost nothing now compared to franchises such as Dragon Ball or One Piece, which is running probably over 100 chapters. I know it's close to chapter 1000 as far as I know. But back in the day, 28 volumes was a pretty decent run. There was also an original anime counting 114 episodes. The anime covered most of the original manga except for the last part, the Hades arc. Then the series went into a bit of a hiatus for about 10 to 12 years. It came back in the early 2000s, and it came back with a revenge, because ever since then it's never stopped. From 2000 onwards we've had spin-offs, we've had more original animation series, we've had the manga, and we've even had an official sequel by the original author, which is called the Saint Seiya Next Dimension. Unfortunately, this series is progressing very slowly. I think about 14 volumes have come out ever since it started back in the early 2000s. We usually get about 1 volume per year, sometimes 2, sometimes none, and very often it goes on hiatus for even more than that, even a couple of years from time to time. But still, the world is still expanding, let's put it that way. So, let's stop it at this for now. Let's not make it too long. This is just the basics, the basic principles behind Saint Seiya, and then we'll go more in depth with the main characters, the main story arcs, and so on later on. That's it. Bye bye.